going on, everyone? DSP here with a channel update, and I know this is really close to the last channel update that I did. It's only been a couple days, but being what's going on right now here in Connecticut, I felt that I wanted to get this out right away before the chance of the power going out or something like that. But basically there's a hurricane coming, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in this update, but I have a couple other things I want to talk about before we get to that. So I'll be talking about all my plans for what I'm going to do during this crazy hurricane at the end of this video, or near the end of this video, or second half of this video, whatever you want to say. But a couple things. First of all, I just want to reiterate again that if you are a fan of mine, I would really like it if you followed me on Twitter. And the reason is, for example, this weekend with this hurricane stuff that's going on, Twitter is a great way for me to communicate with the fans. So my Twitter account is @TheyCallMeDSP. I'll put it in the description of this video so that you can see it. And it's great because even when my internet's out, even when my power's out, as long as my cell phone works, I can still communicate. So I can, you know, if that is to happen, I can go on Twitter and tell everyone, listen, my power's out, here's what's going on with the hurricane. And also it's a great way to communicate about videos. Every day, for the past couple of weeks, when I start to upload my new batch of videos, I usually tweet, okay, you know, Deus Ex, today's footage is now going up on DSPGaming, go check it out. Or if anything else is going on, I tweet about it. I don't use Twitter like a lot of other people, tweeting every 5 seconds about, oh, there's a fly on my wall. Oh, I have to take a shit. Oh, there's a hobo outside, he wants a sandwich. You know, I don't do this kind of stuff. I don't waste your time with pointless tweets. And it's going to be my goal to keep my tweets down to just important information about me, about gaming, and about my videos. So, if you don't have a Twitter account, it takes all of 30 seconds to sign up. There's no excuse not to do it. The @TheyCallMeDSP. Please follow me. I'd like to get my followers up there so that when I have important things going on, everyone's in the know, rather than people not knowing where to go. You know, so go to the website, go to my page, my YouTube page. This is a good way if I'm away from my computer or away from a situation where I would be able to communicate in that way, like putting up a video like this. You can go to my Twitter page, okay? Second, I want to give everyone a little bit more information on the tester. The contest, Season 3 of the tester will be starting in a couple months, the filming of this. And if you watched my previous channel update from earlier this week, you'll know that I am backing a fan of mine and also an avid YouTube user. His name is Venomous Fatman, and he actually interviewed me earlier this year in his interview series, Only the Goddamn Truth, and it was a really good interview in my opinion because he asked a lot of questions that people had been asking over a long period of time, and I was very honest with my answers. And honestly, I think people would go over to his channel and check out the interview. People wouldn't ask the same kind of questions over and over. I constantly get the same kind of questions for Ask the King over and over, and I realize I already answered these in other things sometimes in this guy's interview, so I don't know why people don't check it out. But anyway, I digress. Venomous Fatman is in the running to be on the Season 3 of the tester. And the way that this works, it is a contest. Basically, you have to go to his page and vote for him. Now, since I mentioned him on, what was it, Wednesday or Thursday, whenever I did my last channel update, he's now number 2 in the running for the tester Season 3 for the first round of voting. Here's the way that it works. There's 3 rounds of voting for this contest, okay? And I believe it starts out like, at first, out of the how many ever 100 or 1,000 people that are in the running, at first they narrow it down to probably, I would assume probably like the top 100 or even the top 50 people who get the most votes. Then it begins round 2 and it resets all the votes. Then people have to vote again. And then finally it narrows it down even thinner, and then there's round 3 where it finally, I think, picks the winner of the online voting, and then sometimes they pick 1 or 2 other people from the online voting to also be on the show and fill out the cast. So, right now, Venomous Fatman's in number 2. What I want to do is put him in number 1, and I want to firmly put him in number 1 so that we know he's going to be on this show and we don't have to worry about him getting kicked off by someone cheating the system. And I don't know what's really going on, but I do see that there are a couple people on there who have little to no YouTube presence whatsoever, and they have like almost 1,000 votes, and I'm wondering how the hell that really is possible, unless literally like they went to every single person on the planet that they know and said, mail 10 more people and vote for me. Because really, how else do you get that kind of a following to do something for you? You know what I mean? So I don't know, I think it might be a little bit fishy, but then again, I don't know what's going on. Maybe they have other popular YouTubers backing them. But anyway, what I would like everyone to do, if you haven't already, is to go into the link that I have in the description of this video and go vote for Venomous Fatman to be on Season 3 of the tester. And I will be following this along during the whole process. I'll be giving everyone updates on what's going on with it. And I think it would be really cool if we could get him on the show and then we have something, we can all watch the show collectively together, and we can review the show, and we can talk about what's going on with him on the show while it's on, and I think that would be a great opportunity as us, as a gaming community. Some people have asked me, Phil, why aren't you trying to be on the tester? Because you're a shoo-in. Obviously, if I were to put my profile up there on the tester, I'd probably get thousands upon thousands of votes. Well, the answer is, unfortunately, and I've talked about this before, with these gaming shows like World Cyber Games, what was it, Ultimate Gamer, and this one, The Tester, it's not just about gaming. If this show were just about gaming, I'd probably fucking win it, okay? I'm not trying to be cocky, but I play more video games than anyone. Hands down, I play more. So I have more of a well-rounded experience. If I were playing a variety of games, I'd probably do really well on a show like this. But the problem is it's not just gaming. They also throw in all these crazy physical challenges and things, like we have to run and do this. I remember when Justin Wong was actually on Ultimate Gamer, he had to do racing in a go-kart or some shit like that. And I was like, I can't do that stuff because I have a back injury. So if the shows really were geared towards real gamers and, you know, knew what they were doing, it would be about gaming. And they would find a way to make video games interesting to a wider audience, and this would be a good way to do it. But they don't know how to do that. So they go back to their old tried and true reality show formula. Oh, let's just have them do some crazy, stupid physical bullshit that has nothing to do with anything and proves absolutely nothing about someone's gaming skill level or knowledge. And it's really stupid. I have to say, it's really stupid that they do that. If they were to take the physicalness out of it, I would go on that show in a second. I think it would be a blast to compete and to do something like that. So, but then again, I don't know. But anyway, I digress. That's why I'm not trying to be on the tester or Ultimate Game. You know, I actually, on the Ultimate Gamer, they actually contacted me 2 years ago, back in early 2010. They wanted me to go on their show. They said, we saw your YouTube following and we're interested in getting you on the show, to which I declined. I said, listen, I watch videos of your show and I can't do that stuff because of my back, so sorry, but it's your fault for putting physical challenges in your damn show, which make no sense. They're not related to video games. But anyway, so that's the deal. What I'd like everyone to do is to vote for Venomous Fatman. Now again, I said this in the last video, if you don't like him or you don't like his content, no, don't vote for him just because I said so. But I really like the guy. I think he's a nice guy. He's been a good fan to me, and he's said many good things about me. So now I'm trying to return the favor because he really wants to be on this show. So everyone, if you could go vote for him. Also, he's only about 100 votes behind the guy in first place right now. But what I'm noticing is that every day everyone gets roughly about another 100, 200 votes for the past couple of days because the voting just opened on Tuesday. The round one of votes lasts, I think it was like 20. I don't think it's a full month. Hold on, I think it's like 20-something days. Alright, it's open for another 19 days and 8 hours as of the time I'm making this video. So we've got 20 days to get him firmly in the first place. And if just a couple thousand people go over right now and vote, he's going to be shoo-in. He's going to be locked for that spot. And that's really what I would like to see happen. I want to see him be on the show. So everyone, if you could do that, that would be really cool, okay? Now on to two important issues, and the first one is one that a lot of people have wanted to hear my opinions of, and I already kind of talked about it in my last Ask the King video on Thursday, but unfortunately YouTube decided to have that video stuck in fucking processing hell for like 2 hours, and by the time it came out, my channel update had already come out, and people basically didn't see it. There's only like 10,000 views on that video now, when my update has like 50,000, okay? So I'm going to talk a little bit more about it here, and also for the reason that John Rambo has also spoken out about this, okay? GameStop. Now this is, I'm going to openly admit, this is the game store that I get my games from. And there's a couple reasons. The first reason is because they're the closest store to me. The second reason is because they always get games on launch day. And the third reason is because they're able to get the collector's edition of games. Unfortunately, a lot of smaller stores don't have the kind of clout that GameStop has. And so you try to get a game on launch day and they don't have it. Or you try to get the collector's edition and they can't get it for you. And even other stores, I'll talk a little bit about Best Buy and my experience with them, and I'm sure this isn't nationwide, but about a year ago, I did actually try out Best Buy for about 2 weeks. I tried to get the new games that were coming out. Now, these weren't the blockbuster games. It wasn't Uncharted 2 or anything like that, but they were games that were new, and they were coming out, and I came in to get them, and they didn't have them. But then there was one, I was really pissed about this. I had pre-ordered it because now they have the ability to buy these cards ahead of time and you pre-order the game with the card. So I come in with the card and they go, well, we don't know where the game is. I said, well, I pre-ordered it to get it today, you better find out. And it took them like an hour and a half of going through the back of their store, ripping apart boxes to find the box that these games were in because no one had ever bothered to take them out and put them on the floor on release day. So after that experience, I said, fuck this, I'm not going back to Best Buy to buy my video games. Again, I'm not saying that that's a blanket statement for every Best Buy, but I was just really turned off by that experience, and I have not gone back to buy games at Best Buy since then. So GameStop seems to be, they seem to know what they're doing. They get the games on launch day, they get what you want. A lot of times they even do midnight launch events for popular games. I'm sure they'll do it for the new Call of Duty this year. They always do it. Well, GameStop is taking heat right now because GameStop just did something that was kind of messed up. And here's what happened. Deus Ex Human Revolution, which I'm playing right now, okay? The PC version of this game, obviously I didn't get that when I got it for Xbox 360, but the PC version of this game actually includes a code to get a free copy of this game streamed over on live on your PC. So you don't have to install the game if you don't want. If you buy the PC version, you can actually stream it over the internet, and that way you save yourself hard drive space, okay? Now, there's a problem with this. The problem is, if you may not be aware, but GameStop is just beginning their own version of an OnLive service to directly compete with OnLive. They also want to be able to stream these games over the internet. And GameStop had no knowledge that they were going to include this code with the PC version of Deus Ex Human Revolution. Eidos and Square Enix never told them. And so, from a business perspective, understandably, I could see why I'd be pissed about that. Why are you giving us a product to sell to our customers? We understand we're middlemen, we're the distributor, we're the face to the consumer base. But why would you, without our knowledge, put a coupon inside of something that directly competes with our business and actually is going to hurt our business in the long run if people find out about OnLive and not about our GameStop service, okay? So I understand why GameStop's upset, but I don't agree with what they did to remedy the problem. What they did is they sent out an email on Wednesday of last week to the entire company of GameStop and said, employees, you are instructed to take every PC copy of Deus Ex that you have, open the package, okay? Well, physically open it, find the coupon with the code, take the coupon out, throw the coupon out, and then re-close the package, and then sell it as a new game. What the fuck? Who gave anyone permission to open my game? If I'm buying a new game, it should be considered new. Here's why I disagree with this practice. Now, it's not so much that, okay, the game's fine, they didn't fuck with the game disc or anything like that. They're not stealing anything, out of the box, besides the OnLive, which, honestly, you do own because you paid the full purchase price and that was included in the package by the publisher of this game. But they're not stealing any game content or anything from you. It's not like there's a chance that the game's going to be fucked up because they opened the package. But what gets me about this is, if I buy a game, okay, I don't think I have any sealed games right now. No, I don't have anything sealed. But if I buy a game from GameStop, okay, and I literally open it in front of their eyes, and then I say, I want to return this, they say, well, that's a used game. And then they only give you half the value of the game that you just paid 2 seconds ago. You pay $60, you open the package, you hand it to them, they'll hand you $30 back. So, by their own criteria, opening the package of a game creates a used game. That's their own criteria that they use to judge it on. So, how are you allowed to open a game, making it used by your own criteria, but then sell it to the public as a new game? That's unacceptable. That is a bad business practice. That's a deceptive business practice, and it's basically a way to protect their own asses, again, because they were afraid that OnLive, they know OnLive has a head start on them with this game streaming, cloud gaming kind of deal, and they want to directly compete with it, and so they're trying to do something about it. Now, both sides legally, I did a little bit of research, both sides legally have a right as a grounds to go after each other. The problem is, I doubt either side will, and here's why. Square Enix / Eidos, whoever it is, can actually file a lawsuit against GameStop and say, what you just did actually is intended to hurt our business. And there's actually a law in the United States that says if you do something to directly sabotage a business venture between two companies, that it's actually a prosecutable offense, okay? So they actually have a case. But guess what? So does GameStop, because GameStop can make the exact same case and say, well, Eidos and Square Enix, you never told us you were including a competitor's coupon inside of your own, package. You're actually intentionally trying to sabotage us, or else you would have been honest about it and told us what was in there so that we could have made a decision whether or not to even carry the game in our stores. So both sides actually have legal grounds to sue each other. I really don't see either side going anywhere with this. I just think it's just an unfortunate thing that happens with this kind of deal, especially with the industry. I think GameStop right now is hurting a lot because they're finding out that a lot of the used games they used to make so much money on aren't really being bought anymore. And the reason is companies like EA and other companies that are doing the online pass thing where you have to buy a pass to play the game online if you didn't buy it new. People aren't buying used games anymore. I mean, let's be honest, GameStop charges a lot for used games. Some used games, let's say, for example, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat right now, if you buy it used at GameStop, it's probably like 40 to 50 bucks. It's not any, huge discount. It's like 10 to 20 bucks off the full price of the new game. But the online pass costs $10. So why am I going to buy a used copy of a game for 50 bucks and then pay $10? I just bought the game for the same cost as buying it new. So it makes no sense to buy used games for these games that are charging the online passes anymore. And therefore, GameStop is losing money. And they said, oh shit, well, now we have to kind of break into new technology to find a way to make up for the money we're losing. And that's why they want to try this new cloud gaming service. And that's going to compete directly with online. So that's the whole situation going on with that. My feeling about it is, I think both sides are at fault. I think that if you're going to do something like that and include a coupon, you have to let that retail distributor know what's going on. You shouldn't just try to hide it in there. The only reason people even knew about it is because on Tuesday when people bought the PC game, they opened it and it was in there. No one even knew before Tuesday that coupon was even in the box. So it's just like a big controversy. Why were they deceptive and why didn't they tell anyone? And then on the flip side of that, why does GameStop feel the right that they have? Why do they think they have the right to open a new game and then sell it for the new price when by their own criteria, when you open a game, it basically depreciates 50% in value and it's considered a used game? So both sides are at fault. The whole situation's fucked up. If you want to see John Rambo's take on this whole situation, he has a much different take than I have because he used to work for GameStop. So if you want to see that, go check out his channel, John Rambo Presents. He actually does a shoot video, per se, on GameStop and his experiences with the company. So you go take a look at that when you get a chance. Okay, finally, let's get to the big issue, the Hurricane Irene, okay? And let me look at, actually quickly, excuse me while I look at how much time I have left to talk about this. I got about 10 minutes. Hurricane Irene is headed towards where I am right now. The skies outside, it's only not even 6 o'clock. I just turned 6 o'clock. The skies outside are almost pitch black with clouds, okay? This is a big one. This hurricane is, from what weather reporters are saying, it's just as bad as Hurricane Katrina was. And we all know what happened with Katrina down in New Orleans. Now, the good news is, I don't live in New Orleans. New Orleans is actually a city infamous for being below sea level. That was a really bad situation with the perfect storm hitting the worst possible city to be hit by it. And we all saw what happened there and the disaster that happened down there. But, unfortunately, this hurricane is going to hit directly where I live. This hurricane is touching to land, the hardest part of it, on the coast of Connecticut and Long Island, where I live. And it's scary. It is a little scary. I've been through hurricanes before, and they could be hit or miss. Some of them, everyone's, oh my God, it's going to be the worst hurricane ever, and it's a dud. You get some heavy winds, some hard rain, and it goes away, and it's like, wow, that wasn't so bad. I've also been through hurricanes where it's been so bad that there's been property damage, windows broken, trees ripping out of the ground and falling into my backyard. Now, where I am now in this condo facility is actually a lot more safe than where I used to live, okay? I used to live with my parents in a house with a backyard surrounded by trees. Here, we've got a wider backyard. There's actually a row of houses behind the condo, and there are trees between, but I don't really think that the trees between houses are really too much at risk because they're going to stop the wind currents from pulling on the trees. I think it's more the people in the more wooded areas, and there are a lot of more wooded areas around me that are going to be really at risk. And what I'm really afraid of, which I'm going to go out on a limb and say 99% chance, I'm going to lose power, okay, for probably a significant amount of time. My cable company, called me on the phone and said, just so you know, if your cable or your internet go out, don't call us because we know that it's going to happen and we're going to do our best to solve the situation and we're going to be monitoring it 24/7 full-time all weekend. we'll do what we can, but don't bother calling us because we know there's going to be problems and it's not going to help. That's how bad everyone's anticipating this to be. Colleges, there's colleges in this area where kids are supposed to go back to college or they're just moving in. This would be like the move-in week where you move into the dorms and prepare for school. They canceled it. They said, go home. Don't fucking come. It's going to be horrible here. You're not going to be able to move in during this hurricane. So it's serious business. Some places have declared a state of emergency. They started evacuating some of Long Island and the city last night, actually, because they anticipate this to be so bad. It's supposed to hit tonight. I can see it, like I said, I can see it right now in the sky. It's supposed to hit tonight, start with heavy rain, heavy winds, and then tomorrow, Sunday, is the big day where all day we're just going to get destroyed by this hurricane. And then, hopefully by Monday, it'll have cleared up to the point where people can see how bad the damage is and whatever. So, what does this mean and what am I anticipating? For me, it means I'm not leaving. I actually went out earlier today, I bought toilet paper and water. And it's funny because I was at CVS, my local pharmacy, and people are going nuts. Oh, you don't have any. They didn't have any of like the regular water, like they didn't pull in spring. I actually had to buy Fiji. They had nothing left but like the expensive water, which is all right. I like Fiji, but it is kind of pricey, But that's all they had. Everyone had bought out all the water at all the stores. People are going nuts buying commodities like nuts, like jerky, like things that can last for a long time if they're expecting their power to be out for a while. So, unfortunately, it's a panic state. I am ready for it. I have everything I need. There's nothing that I can do like to board up anything per se. I have one big window right here and there's really nothing much I can do. It is very thick glass, but there's nothing I can do to protect it. My back porch is fine. I actually pulled up all my shades and my blinds that I have on my back porch. I've folded all my folding chairs, put them in a corner. I actually flipped my table. I have a patio table. I flipped it, so there's no chance of it getting blown into the wall or anything. And because of my bedroom, my back wall of my bedroom is actually kind of recessed into the condo because I have a back porch there, so I have no risk of any kind of damage there. Really all I'm worried about is that one window right there, and flooding, because we do flood a lot in this area. Now, the good news here is when this condo floods, it has a very large basement under me, and we're not allowed to use the basement because it floods, and they still haven't been able to fix it so it doesn't flood. So if any flooding does happen, the water's probably going to go straight to the basement, and I'm not really worried about that, except for the fact that there's probably power's down there, power lines, cable lines, and if it floods too badly, the power's probably going to go out. So my major concern is that window possibly getting damaged and flooding leading to power outages. And so my plans are to stay here to game. I mean, I still have Deus Ex Human Revolution I need to beat, which I'm going to play actually right after I finish making this video and uploading it to YouTube. I have not even tried Third Strike online yet, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. I'm dying to try it. Some people have been saying it's not as bad as everyone was complaining about. I think what happened was a lot of people were trying to play it on an HD TV, and they're not accustomed to playing games on an HD TV, of like Third Strike, and so they actually were using options that would fuck it up and delay the gameplay of the game. And also there's an option in the menu, if you look in the menu of Third Strike Online, there's an option to create some delay, because it actually sometimes helps you play online if you have a little bit of input delay. And people weren't seeing that, and they were leaving it on so the game had input delay. But I'm interested in trying it out. I really want to get into the game again. Like I said, I was playing that game right at the end of its life cycle, around 2006, 2007, right before it completely died out, and I was enjoying it on a competitive level, so I'm looking forward to playing it again. So I've got that. I've got plenty of games. Like I said, I've been going to Game Exchange recently and buying old school games. I got plenty of games there that I can play and do footage of. That is all, of course, if the power stays on. Now, I have flashlights, I have batteries, I have plenty of stuff if the power goes off. I've got books and things that I can read. Hell, I just got this guy, Marvel Chronicles. This is a 70-year history of Marvel Comics. It's probably one of the coolest books I've ever seen in my life. It's full color. Look at it. It's crazy looking. It's got look at this artwork. It's amazing, and it's a really in-depth history of Marvel Comics. I'm really looking forward to digging into this sucker at some point when I get some time. And hey, if the power goes out, read by flashlight. What else can you do, So I'm prepared. I'm ready. I have stuff in place ready to go if the power does happen to go out. And the only problem is, again, I won't be able to upload. So if all of a sudden I was uploading videos and then all of a sudden you don't see any more videos, you know why. And again, if you follow me at @TheyCallMeDSP on Twitter, I'll keep everyone in the know about what's going on as long as my phone still is charged. And I have it charging right now, plugged in, so that hopefully it'll keep a charge all weekend. So. Alright, so that's it for this channel update. A lot of information. Again, I apologize. I know these are long and it's hard for people to stick in there for 20 minutes, 25 minutes to listen to me talk and babble on about stuff, but A lot of stuff going on right now, especially with the tester, the GameStop controversy, and this hurricane. I wanted to flesh them a little bit out, a little bit more, and let you know what's going on before this hurricane possibly knocks out my power, and then I'm disconnected from the world for a couple days. So, all right, I'm DSP. Good luck to everyone who lives near me or is in this area, is going to get hit by this hurricane. Be safe. Don't be stupid. Don't try to fucking go outside and say, oh, I'm in a hurricane, this is cool, and a fucking tree lands right on you, you know? And don't be an idiot. Don't go driving in this weather unless you absolutely have to if there's an emergency. Just be safe, stay inside, be sure you have supplies, and hopefully this will blow over pretty quickly and it won't be such a big deal. So everyone, be safe, okay? I'm DSP. Thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you guys for more gameplay and hopefully at the other end of this hurricane. Thanks.